Okay, fine, guys. Welcome back to our Selenium session. So in this session, so as we discussed when we are starting with the Selenium, so the basic thing, as I told you, so these all videos we will be downloading and keeping into our Selenium. So where we will be having the basic intro, why we need to go for the test automation, and what are the basic things of the Selenium, means what is Selenium and how the Selenium was found, and then how it came into the market, and then what are the basic components of the Selenium. And this is a little bit older one, but still we will try to upgrade those videos. So all these videos will be downloaded and kept into our repository. Now coming back, okay, I'm getting echo, guys. Can you please go on mute? Yes. So now coming back here to the Selenium website. So how we need to do it? So the first thing we need to understand what exactly the Selenium will do. So the Selenium, first we need, means previously we do have the website called Selenium HQ, and then it has been changed to the Selenium Dev now. So now as on date 2nd February 2021, so the latest version of the Selenium is Selenium 4. Okay, so now first of all we should understand what exactly this particular Selenium will do. See, the simple statement they wanted to give, that Selenium will automate the browsers. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less than this. Means what it was trying to say is it can automate any Chrome browser, Firefox browser, Firefox browser, or IE, or Opera, Safari, whatever the browsers we wanted to do. So that particular automation will be done by the Selenium. Very simple. Now, apart from the web applications, means the web application means, guys, hope you guys are remember what are the different type of architectures we do have. Application architectures we do have. Nazima, what are the different type of architectures we have? Application architectures. Guys, you're able to hear me?
One tier architecture, two tier, and entire architecture.
So we do have five types of architecture. One is a one tier architecture, two tier architecture, three tier architecture, or one tier or standalone applications, or a desktop applications, two tier architecture or the client server architecture, and a three tier architecture, so which is a web applications, and the four tier architecture, which is the end distributed applications, and then fifth one is the mobile applications. So these are the five types of applications we do have it. So the Selenium will automates only the three tier architecture, means it will automates only the web applications only. Why we need to be specific about it? Because it will not automate the mobile applications. So for the mobile apps, we do have another tool called Appium. So Appium was built on the, means on top of the Selenium itself. So like this means for the desktop applications, if you wanted to do, or standalone applications, or the client server applications, if you wanted to do with the Selenium, that would be not possible. So for that one, we do have many tools available in the market, which is SQL, or we do have AutoEdit. Many tools are available there. So those tools we can use it. So for the open source or for the commercial tools like UFT or whatever the tools they are there, so they can help in doing the, means the one tier architecture and two tier architecture. But nowadays it is very rare to have these type of architecture applications. Almost every application was in the web. So previously, before 10 to 15 years back, we used to have the one tier architecture and two tier architecture most of the applications. So that's where we used to have those tools. And later on, when it comes to the web applications, so the Selenium get into the picture, and then it has been done. So now you need to understand that Selenium automates the web applications. Okay, now that's the first pointer. Now coming back here, so how we need to understand this particular site. So Selenium have majorly three components. One is Selenium WebDriver, Selenium IDE, and Selenium Grid. So we need, means we will be working completely on the Selenium WebDriver. So Selenium IDE and Grid, as of now, we will be not working on it. So now if you see here the Selenium WebDriver, so here it's where we will write all our scripts and test scripts. With the help of this particular Selenium WebDriver, we will develop all our test scripts. So, and when it comes to the IDE means, for an example, Eclipse is an IDE and NetBeans is a IDE. So integrated development environment. So the environment where you will try to develop your scripts is called IDE. So now Selenium itself, it have its own IDE. So I told you, right? So just go and refer that one IDE, but we will not refer the, means we will not use this IDE at all. And Selenium grid. So what do you meant by the grid? Even there is a video for this one, but just a high level, I'll try to let you know what you meant by grid so that it can be easy for you people to understand about it. In Selenium grid, the grid is nothing but there will be a concept of hub and node. For an example, this is my hub and this will have node 1 and node 2, node 3. Means, for an example, there is one hub, one parent, and have multiple childrens where the execution can be executed. So in my mission, for an example, my physical mission, I have it. I made this as a hub, and then I can run the executions parallelly. For example, I can spawn 2 Chrome browsers and 3 Firefox browsers, or 2 Firefox browsers and 1 Edge browser. So totally, I'm executing 5 executions parallelly, but all the results and everything will be updated into one single hub, means into the parent. So I have 2 Chrome browsers here, 2 Firefox browsers here, and 1 Microsoft Edge is there. So my executions, all executions will happen, and all these things can be controlled. All these nodes will be controlled by this particular hub. So this implementation is called Selenium Grid. I was given very high level and vague. There is a huge concept behind this, and implementation is very simple, but it all depends when we use it in our frameworks or not, because many of the time, currently we do have device forms. Means if you wanted to execute parallelly or multiple browsers and all the things, we are connecting to the different device forms and we are throwing the executions into the cloud. So that's where this concept was not, means now slowly it was deprecating, but still, yeah, it have its own importance. So that is what the Selenium Grid means. It will have a hub with the parent machine, and it can have the childs, and the childs it will take parallelly, and then it will start doing the execution. So this is what the Selenium Grid talks about. And Selenium IDE means it was like a complete record and a playback. So the record and playback means, for an example, previously we used to have cassettes, and then we can record our voice and then we can play back what we have been done. The same way, once you click the record button, so you open a browser and then you navigate to a URL and go to the login page, enter the username, enter the password, and click the login button. So as soon as you click the login button, you went to the home page. This is what one test case we have written, right? Now, if you replay back this, the same actions, it will once again open the browser, navigate to this URL, enter the username, enter the password, click this button, and then go to the home page. And this script can be converted into all 7 languages which the Selenium can support for it. So don't worry, I'll explain about what is the 7 languages it will support. So now either it can be, we can get the Java code or JavaScript code or Python code or Ruby code. So we can get this. And why we are not spending too much of time on this one is we are not using that one. So at least you should know, means how many components we have it in Selenium. We have 3 components: Selenium WebDriver, Selenium IDE, Selenium Grid. So previously, instead of WebDriver, we used to have RC. So this is in the Selenium 1, and we crossed Selenium 2. We crossed Selenium 3. Now we are in Selenium 4. So that's the reason we don't have the concept of this particular RC at all. So 2 and 3 means when I was learning the Selenium at that time, so we used to learn from the RC. So now after this one, so directly we came to 2 and 3, then there is no point of learning the RC. So we will completely waived off it. So now we do have the Selenium WebDriver. So now WebDriver means the latest stable version and the latest version and the stable version. We need to understand these both versions here. Okay, so we will discuss more about the Selenium WebDriver, and this is a very quick introduction of Selenium IDE and then Selenium Grid. And as I told you, you do have that videos in our repository. Just refer the Selenium IDE and then Grid video over there. Now, anyways, we'll talk about more in this one. So I'll just scroll to the next part. Yeah, someone is asking some question. What is?
What is Anna?
I'm not hearing you properly, Anjum. So what is?
RC?
RC is remote control. So that's means before the WebDriver interface. So there are the implementation from the remote controller implementation. So that's a very big story, but I'll not get into that one because that is completely deprecated and we are not using it. So that was in the Selenium 1. So in Selenium 1, instead of this particular WebDriver, we used to have the RC. So RC is like the same, how the implementation of the WebDriver. This is the latest, means the WebDriver is the latest version. RC is the oldest version, means which in the Selenium 1, we used to use that. Okay, so now what we used to do it in the RC and what we are trying to do it in the WebDriver, that is not at all required here because it takes good amount of time. Before explaining the RC and then WebDriver, first you should understand the architectures and all the things. So it might leads to the confusion. That's where I didn't given that session. If you see here, there is a video differences between RC and WebDriver. So there is a 4 minutes video here. If you see here, there I explained about the RC and this. I told you, right, this video we have taken before 7 years. At that time, the RC is there. But now the video, the RC itself, the concept, it's not there. That's where I'm not spending the time on that one. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Fine. So now we need to understand that this is what the three means. If someone asks you what are the components of the Selenium, we need to say that there are three components in the Selenium, right? So now we do have three components. We have discussed about the IDE. We need to look into those videos. At least at a high level, what is this IDE and what is a Selenium grid? We have been understood. And we will be getting the deep diving of this WebDriver. What we will be doing the deep diving in this particular WebDriver is, so we will be understanding here what is WebDriver architecture. We need to know what is a WebDriver architecture. In this one, we do have two things. One is a working architecture, and then next one is a coding architecture of the Selenium WebDriver. So this is what we will be deep diving today more into. Okay, this is what our major intention. Now, we understood this, and next step we'll go. As we know that Selenium is an open source tool. It's a open source tool. What do you mean by open source? Means there is no need to pay a single pie for the tool. You know, previously we used to have the UFT and these things, right? You know what is the charge of UFT? UFT for a single seat load license. UFT means it's a QTP, means previously before 10 to 12 years, it used to call as QTP. So that's where we started our career. Before QTP, we do have Silk Test. And after that, we came to the QTP. QTP is one of the top most commercial tool. You know, before 12 years, the cost of one seat license node is 4,500. And we used to have 130 seat licenses. 4,500, not rupees, dollars. So now $4,500 into 130 licenses. You multiply this and then see how much cost we need to invest on test automation. Now, instruments, for an example, I'll give you a rough estimates on this. Why this became popular, you will understand. So now 4,500 into 130. This is accurate stats of my company. 5,85,000 into approximately, now we can keep it for 72 rupees. Okay, 42 lakh rupees we need to spend per year on QA test automation. Now, instead of this particular 42 lakhs, now we are paying 0. This is only the tool cost. Apart from the tool cost, we need to pay for the resources also. But now there is no need to pay anything. The 42 lakhs of rupees in Indian currency, it has been saved for the companies. Maybe it all depends upon the company to company, but for our company, when we are working, we used to maintain 130 licenses. So 130 licenses cost around 42 lakhs per year. So those all things was rooted out by the Selenium. So that's the reason that Selenium became the market topper. So it's a free of cost, and this was under the Apache license 2.0. Means when it was whenever a particular tool is open source, the open source will have different terms and conditions. There will be different licensing. Usually they will say, right, free, and in the below small letters they will keep it like condition applied with a star mark. So that's how this particular means actually when it comes to under 2.0, so it can be redistributed, and then it can be enhanced, and then it can be used. So that's where many of the tools in the market now, if you take the protractor or the WebDriver IO, you take any tool in the market, the most popular tool, so that particular tool was built on top of Selenium. So now if you take protractor, WebDriver, Nightwatch.js, and many other tools, means test project and the Catalan. So all these projects and all these particular tools were built on top of Selenium itself. So now what you need to understand is, because this is an open source under the license of 2.0, it can be redistributed and re-enhanced. And these two means, at least these three things are open source once again. But these two things are commercial tools. For commercial tools also, these guys taken some these packages, and top of this one, they build another. Means for an example, there is a building. These guys has building till 6th floor. They constructed 7th floor, 8th floor, 9th floor, and then they are selling this particular building. Till 1 to 6, it got free. And 7, 8, 9, 10, they created, and then they are selling this particular product. So that is what the test projects or the Catalan, like that. Many other people. And you know why they given for the till 6th free means, if you see here, these are the guys who are funding for them. And you know, this is a Sauce Labs. The Sauce Labs is one of the popular device form. What do you meant by device forms means, I explained on this Saturday also. For an example, I wanted to test it in the multiple browsers. Means for an example, I wanted to test it in Chrome, Firefox, and then Safari, Opera, and Edge. So now in Chrome, I need to test last 3 browsers. Means the 86 is the latest one, 87, 86, 84, means 84, 85, 86, 87. So 4 browsers, and these 4 browsers, these 4 browsers, these 4 browsers, these 4 browsers. Maintaining of all these browsers, is it possible? And I need to test it in Windows, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, and Windows 10. And then even if I need to test it in the Windows 11. And then I need to test it in Mac machine. So Mac operating systems means whatever the latest version. So have we tested on this one? And we need to test it in Ubuntu. So can we test all this? With these all browsers, combination of this all, combination of this particular operating systems with the combination of this one. So this is called as, what type of testing is this? Anish, what type of testing is this? Gayatri, what type of testing is this? Sanya, what type of testing is this? Guys, you there? Okay, so Sissy, what type of testing is this? Testing across the browsers, testing across the operating systems, testing across the versions of this?
Compatibility testing.
That is called compatibility testing. What happened, guys? It is backward compatibility if you're testing it for the lower versions. If you're testing it for the higher versions, it's a forward compatibility testing. So these all compatibility testings doing in a single machines or maintaining these particular environments would be a problem. So at that point of time, it can be pointed out to the cloud environment, which is Sauce Labs or the browser stacks. So what these guys will do is they will provide you the environment where with the different, you can select which operating system you want and what are the browsers you wanted to test it, so that it can spawn that particular instances with the respective browsers and all the things. The same way we can have the mobile device forms also. So mobile device forms, we can take it like Android and then iOS. You tell me I need to test it at the latest version is 11. So OMPQR. So now, so we need to test it in the Oreo and marshmallows and then Nougat. And then we need to MNOP Pi Q. We need to test it in R. So now all these versions, we need to test it. So, and then the device sizes, screen sizes, means from the 5.4 inches and then 5.5 inches, and 5.8 inches, 6 inches, 6.3 inches, and tabs 7 inches, 10 inches, 11 inches, and brands. We do have multiple brands like Samsung, and then the Vivo, and then like all these particular brands, popular brands, and then come back to the iOS. I need to test in 6, 6s, and then 7, 7s, and then 8, 9, 10, 11, now 12. So now each mobile phone, it costs around 1.5 lakh to 2 lakhs. So how we can test all, means do you think that we can buy all these devices and then do it? It is highly impossible to maintain that. So that's where we can connect to a cloud and we can say that, boss, I need Android 8 with the 5.8 inches or Samsung Galaxy Note 1. If I given that, it will spawn me that particular respective devices. So that is what the source, these are called as a device forms. So these device forms are, means one of the famous device form is Source Lab, Browser Stack, cross browser testing. So these are the device forms. Why these, the Perfecto is especially for the mobiles. So why these device forms are supporting for this source, means this particular Selenium? Because as it means it's open source, means someone has to support this all, right? Means someone has to give the funds, right? So these all companies will fund for them, because many of the companies, as it's a free tool, they'll be using it and they will be having the implementation with the, means they will support for this particular cross browser testing. So that's where they will do as a free, means they will give something as a free and charging more, because they will charge here for minutes. So now, Sauce Lab founder, Selenium founder is a Sauce Lab founder. He know that, so if I given that was for free, and so that I can get all the, means the money can be generated here. So that's the strategy, business strategy, which they have been developed it. And this is too costly. So it all depends. So however, we should know how to use what. If you're able to, means capable enough not to do these things, means people will, we wanted to have everything as a cakewalk, so that the people will try to do it, or else we can do all these particular setups manually with us itself. Okay, so this is what the basic introduction. So how, means this, why these guys are supporting for this particular Selenium, and then what are the components we do have it. And apart from this one, so these guys are the platinum customers. So that means these guys have been supported more. And getting back here, uh, there would be a rich documentation. Means if you wanted to download the Selenium jar files, we need to go to this particular download tab. So in this particular download tab, we will be having the respective jar files will be available. See now, if you wanted to work with the Selenium grid, you need to take, means you need to download this. But as of now, we are not using the Selenium grid. And if you wanted to get the IE drivers, guys, if you wanted to work with Selenium, we should have to use a, means a drivers concept. What is this particular drivers? I'll explain you when I'm trying to explain about the WebDriver architecture. We will talk about that one. Now I told you, right, Selenium will support for multiple languages. So these are the 7 languages it was supporting it. So previous we do have 7 languages. Now I think it was supporting only for 5 languages. So here it was Ruby, Java, Python, C#, JavaScript. The most frequently used the language means when the market is 100%, 85% of market was covered by Selenium Java, and remaining percentage was shared by other languages, and Python, C#, JavaScript, and Ruby. So majority of the market was, means completely covered with the Java. So this is what the stable version 3.141.59 is a stable version, and the latest version is 4 alpha 7. Okay, so this is the latest version which it has been released. Okay, this was released in November 20, means November 10, 2020. This is we take the larger time. So to 18 to 2020, it was the biggest larger time, because we attended for the conferences. Many a times they wanted to release, means they will not take much of the time. So every 3 months or 6 months, they used to release it. But after that one, so for this particular release, they spend a huge amount of time. Many changes are there. So I'll explain about Selenium 4, where we can discuss about these changes. So this was 10 November 2020, it was released. And this is where, if you click on this, it can download your jar files. So Selenium jar files will be downloaded over here. And once you downloaded this particular Selenium jar files, how we need to configure, I'll explain in the next session. So downloading of the jar files, and keep it in mind, Selenium can't be installed. Keep this particular pointer. Never and ever say that, did you install Selenium in your machine? No, Selenium can be configured. That's it. Not can be installed. I'll show how to download this and how to configure this one. Okay, so anyways, the out of scope Ruby, Python, C Sharp, and Java. So I'll not talk much more about it. And if you wanted to download Selenium IDE, so here we can have the IDE versions. This is for Chrome and this is for the Firefox. You can see the release notes also here. And if you wanted to see the Maven information, so just you can click it over here. So you can go and see, the Maven, Selenium Maven over there. Okay, so now this is a Maven dependencies. Hope you understood. So now why, just if you wanted to install Selenium, so just we need to copy this dependency and keep into the Maven project. It will bring back you. There is no need to configure those stuff, all the things. So Maven will take care of that. Okay, if you are manually doing, or you should know how to do the manually also. That's where I told that. And what are the third-party plugins? Who gives the third-party plugins? The third-party drivers, bindings, and all the things. It can be given by the respective vendors. For example, the Chrome people has been given the Chrome driver, means the Chrome people will prepare that for the Selenium and they'll give it. Why they wanted to do it for the Selenium? Because Selenium is popular. Many of the companies are using Selenium. So that's where they will try to do all these particular things. So if it is not popular, they will not support for, they will not concentrate on that particular tool. As this is a popular tool, so all the third party people, means from the Chrome, Google people, Firefox, Mozilla people, they all will prepare and then they'll keep it. So all the third party jars will be available here. And what are the browsers? Means if you see here for Gecko driver, you need to go here. And means you should know how to configure these things. Internet Explorer, Safari, Opera, Chrome, Edge. For all these browsers, it will support your automation. So now these are the most frequently used browsers: Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari, Opera, Chrome, Edge. So that's where it supports for all the this particular browsers. So Selenium can automate this six browsers: Firefox, Internet, Safari, Opera, Chrome, and Edge with a different versions. Now, what are the operating systems it can support? It can support the Microsoft, and it can support the Mac, and it support the Linux. All the things will be available over here. And as I told you, right, complete Selenium source code, if you wanted, you can go and download from here. So as this is an open source means they will give you the complete code also. You can take that code and you can modify it, and then you can update that one, or you can change that, enhance that, and then you can sell that particular software also. So that's where they have been given their code and all things. And the most important thing, so these are the Selenium projects, means what are the other projects we have been done with the Selenium. So there are multiple projects are there, so we can do with this. So as of now, the most important thing we need to understand Selenium WebDriver, and they have been given the few informations around this. So how the Selenium project has been created, done, all those informations you can refer over here. And the most important thing is the documentation. So the documentation, if you see here for this complete Selenium documentation, see every documentation will means available with its own. For an example, now I wanted to get the Selenium Java documentation, right? So how you need to download it? Either you can directly type Selenium Java documentation and then you can get there, else you can go to the downloads, and in the downloads here you can have, see now, in the Java documentation, if you click this API docs, so complete the documentation information, you can get it. And what are the change logs? Change logs are nothing but from the previous version to this particular version, what are the changes we have been done? If you see here, this is 3.149. This is the last version, right? Now from this version, we jump to the 4. Guys, never ever follow any other tutorials. If you follow this one itself, we can have it. So from 3.14159, what are the changes it has been done? You can see it here. So usually I refer here. I'll not refer anywhere else. So now if you see here in Alpha 2, means from Alpha 1 to Alpha 2, Chrome-based Edge support. So these are the changes they have been done. And then see, they have been done enabling the full page screenshots. Previously, exact that page screenshot for the Firefox. Now for the full page screenshot, we'll be getting in the Firefox. And this is for the Alpha 3, and this is for the Alpha 4, 5, 6, 7. So now you need to see here, by this you can understand what are the things it can be used for it. And here, if you see this, in this particular beta one, the beta version, so it supports for 0.29 version. So about the driver information, first you need to know what is a driver, you can understand. So all your logs, when the changed logs will be available and the documentation will be available. So you need to refer these official site documentation so that it can be helpful for you. And apart from this one, this is what the Selenium documentation means, complete Selenium documentation. If you see here, they have been given the different languages, and in this language, how you wanted to implement this. Now, this is Java. You can easily understand that. So now, by seeing this statement itself, you should able to understand WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver. So now WebDriver is an interface. So this interface have implementation of this Firefox driver constructor. So now this was trying to create an object for this. Now what it will happen, so these are the methods. Anyways, once we read through the complete, I mean, the architecture, easily you can write that particular thing over here. So that's how, means whatever the things which I explained you now, so these all informations will be available here. Okay, so just go through this particular documentation so that you can cleanly understand. So what is Selenium and how we need to do it and how we can execute on this. So this is all the informations we'll be getting it from the documentation part. Now, so we means who supports Selenium? You know, very strong community is there for supporting the Selenium. So it is means actually we have met in one of the conference last year. It happened in Bangalore. Even the founder of Selenium, founder of Appium, everyone we have been met, and then the complete community who supports for the Selenium community. So we have been met with them, and it was a great gathering also at that time. So this time everything they are keeping in online, but anytime if you have a face-to-face interaction with those people, just try to interact. So many people means as an open community, nothing will be paid for these guys. As I told you, as this is an open source. So if you see here, there is an official group. Means if you have any questions which it was not answered in the Stack Overflow, I don't think means every question would be answered. At least 99.999% will be answered. But if at all any question, if it is not there, then you can come back to this official group and then they can support you whenever you get stuck. Okay, and then there are some chat rooms in the Slack rooms, so you can go to the Slack rooms and then you can say that, boss, I stuck here, can you help me out on this? But be careful, before going to these rooms you have to be very cautious and then go there, because they will actually, what I did is, once I went to this room and then I posted a question, they bounced me like anything. They asked me whether you have gone through the documentation, whether you have been posted in the Stack Overflow, whether you have searched in the Google, what are the URLs you have been browsed in the Google. Before asking the question, have you done this all? Because we have to be so cautious, because they will be super busy and we shouldn't waste the time with the with the silly questions. So we have to be so cautious before posting these things. Okay, and if you wanted to report any particular bug for this on the Selenium, so just you can go for this bug tracker and then you can see what are the bugs already there, and then you can log that particular bug also. And if you want any particular commercial support, means you wanted to do any particular tool, or if you for an organization wide you wanted the implementation, or you want any other things, they come and then do it. But this is a commercial support, they will charge for this one. And you wanted to do any certifications or trainings, so this will be available. And if you click on this one, there are many blogs, Selenium blogs available, so that blogs you can go through and then see on the Selenium topics, multiple Selenium topics they will be giving it. So you can go through this particular Selenium blogs and then you can have the discussions. See now, if you see here on conferences, on the discussions on the future of the Selenium, so multiple things are there. You can go to these respective blogs and then you can look into this and then know about it. And support for the Selenium project. Yeah, if you wanted to support this particular means you wanted to do the contribution, it's very tough. I tried my best, but still I didn't even qualified for that. But it's a very good experience. I tried for giving some papers, and then I wanted to give on some lectures on the Selenium in the conference. I sent multiple nominations, but I was rejected in all these nominations. But still, I was eagerly waiting for that. And fortunately, I got 10 minutes in front of 3,000 QA community people. So it's a very good opportunity which we got at that conference time. So just try on all those things. Definitely it will help you a lot. So that's how this particular website you need to see it and understand about the Selenium. So now what are the steps now? Okay, before going to that one, so here the history and all the things. 2 minutes. Sudha. So history and all the things we need to know about. So if you wanted, you can just see over in the about. Now, what are the things we will be going to read through now? So now first, we will be understanding the basic three concepts. One is the Selenium coding architecture, working architecture, and the next pointer is how to configure Selenium in our mission. So these are the 3 pointers which we wanted to see it. Now, as per our discussion, so I thought like there is a video on this. So if the video is not present on this, just go through means whatever the information. So how to configure the Selenium into our mission. So just we can have multiple videos on the YouTube on that one. So just go through that one and then come back tomorrow, configuring Selenium into the mission and opening the Java docs. Just you need to go here, opening the Java docs and see what is there in the Java Selenium Java docs. So what are the interfaces it was having it and how we need to go through this. So these all things you need to know about it. And the same point of time, the minimized version of this particular Java docs, we have been created these particular slides. I'll post this particular slides also into our group. So take into our repository, take that particular slides, understand that particular slides, and then come back for tomorrow. So now what are the steps you guys need to do it? So you need to come here, refer the Java docs as I shown you in here. So go back to this particular Java docs and then in the Java, see this particular hierarchies, how this was there, what are the interfaces we do have it, and what are the classes at a high level. The minimized version of this particular Java docs will be available over here. So now we can see that, okay, what is the search context? What is a WebDriver? Take screenshots, web elements, and these all, whatever in the blue color, these are interfaces. These are black color in the classes. So now each interface, what are the methods you should have it? So you should know what all methods are available in this all. So you should know this particular thing. And so these are the first thing. So you need to go through this particular architecture and understand what are these particular interfaces you have it and what are the methods respective to the interfaces you have it. You need to let me know tomorrow. And the next point is how this particular architecture flows. So Raghopal video is there. You guys refer that video, but still tomorrow I'll once again explain on this, because if you don't understand this, you will not understand the Selenium. So definitely I need to explain about this architecture. I'll explain this architecture, but still you go back and come back with me some pointers. What is JSON wire protocol? And then what is this browser drivers? These 2 pointers from this particular architecture you need to refer. Okay, so from this architecture, you need to know what is JSON wire protocol and then what are the browser drivers. And working flow, I'll explain about it. Next one, in the coding architecture, you should know what are the interfaces we have and what are the respective methods we have and what are the classes we have it. Okay, we should know these 2. And apart from this one, how to configure the Selenium into our mission. So that also you just refer tomorrow and come back to the session. So these are the 3 action items for you people. Just do that and come back for tomorrow's session. Later on, let's see what it goes. Okay, so by this, I just wanted to stop this particular